our trip to Mystic is somewhat mystifying to
Oh
me.
no, we talked the
Now, I
whole way.
know you
Oh,
drove from just outside of New York City, or did you drive all the way from your house to Mystic? Since I had driven from Atlanta to your house.
I think I did.
Your
I
house
think
was like
so.
halfway for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just remember getting so stinking lost in the back roads of Virginia on my way home from your house. I ended up at my mother's instead of with my husband and children at the beach because I got so far off course.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I was like 5 hours out of
Yeah.
like the wrong direction. So
And
I
at
just,
that point, you just want to crawl into bed and go to sleep.
yeah, and it was dark and I had no idea where I was. And I was terrified. And having recently just started watching, oh, what is that show? This is going to bother me. It's somewhere in Montana. Oh, it's a TV show anyway, and these girls get kidnapped by a trucker on the side of the road. That like gets revealed in the first.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler alert. But anyway, yeah, it was like that. I was afraid. And there was not really anywhere to pull over. And I had no cell signal. It was a very scary night. Although I did get to listen to one of my favorite podcasts called Unbelievable, and it's out of the UK. And it's an apologetics podcast and a radio show. And every year they do a conference. And anyway, it's really, really good. And they have an atheist and a Christian or another religion and a Christian debating different topics and sharing their perspective on whatever. And it was really, I love it. So I listened to that a lot because I downloaded many of those, which was taking up a lot of space on my memory, which I didn't realize I had done. So, I learned some stuff. I try to do
Good.
that.
Awesome. Well, do
Yeah,
you have a devotion for us today?
I do.
Awesome.
So, and it's kind of connected to the other thing I was going to be doing, because one of the things I like to do around this time of year is bucket lists, and they're all over Pinterest. I like to make fun of them mostly because I look at them and they're things like go ice skating, find a Christmas tree farm and chop down your own tree. Watch 25 Hallmark movies, one every day. And, things like that. And I'm just like, who has time to do any of that? Like, if I get 5 minutes to myself from Thanksgiving to Christmas, it's amazing. It's a miracle. I'm in love. And so, like, my personal bullet list contains things like make holly jolly coffee creamer. It takes less than 5 minutes and it tastes like pure heaven. So I'll share that sometime. Or like today, one of the things that we really like to do during the holidays is to make puppy chow, which I don't like to eat. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what puppy chow is.
Chex and peanut butter and chocolate and powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar.
It makes such a mess, but my kids love it. And since they're home for like possibly the last year, I doubt we'll be quarantined and they'll be in college next year. So anyway, I thought we'd do that. And then sausage balls. Shout out to Tennessee Pride because they make them frozen.
Oh, do they?
Okay.
Oh, okay. You're back. Okay.
And we're still recording. Awesome.
Yes,
So,
I didn't.
I have simple things on my list. Put on lipstick just because. All right. It's little things.
Wait, take
Little
a shower.
victories.
Take a shower.
Okay,
Use
now
the
that
restroom by
is on my
myself.
bucket list for the quarantine. But yesterday I was reading from Matthew chapter 1, and just thinking in terms of bucket list, like there's like this long series of begats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And each generation that is shown there, like it shows some of the accomplishments and the things that God did before he gave us the Christ. Like the prophecies had to be foretold before Christ could fulfill them. And so many of those were given by generations before Jesus. And the growing and the building of faith of God's people and the Israelites that had to happen before they went into exile and before they could be brought out of exile and then rebuild and all of that. Um, and so it, to me, in some ways, while it's not a traditional bucket list in that you got to get all these things checked off before the ultimate thing, and I'm not saying like all these people had to die before we could get to the big event, but I am saying that God brought humankind through the lives of so many generations so much before he gave us the gift of Christ so that we would understand and so that we could have Joseph trust the angel there at the end of chapter 1 when he's told, don't divorce her, have Mary be your wife and name your child Jesus. And I just want to read that little bit of passage there, or a little bit of scripture there at the end of Matthew chapter 1. And this starts at verse 23, and the angels talking to Joseph. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which means God with us. When Joseph woke from sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. He took his wife, but knew her not until she had given birth to a son, and he called his name Jesus. And when I think about all the things that God did to get to that bright, shining moment, that's some pretty amazing stuff. And I mean, he had to work through the lives of some pretty messy people. I mean, Rahab's on that list, and Ruth and Boaz and all that crazy story. And to get to the point where he could be God with us, like that was the ultimate goal of, having all of those lives and all of those events and all of those things before. And it just kind of blows my mind to think of the tapestry that he had to weave in order to get to that point, to be able to say he is Emmanuel, he is God with us. And how amazing and blessed are we? It's so amazing, and we are so blessed to be able to celebrate. And we do it maybe with silly things like a special cup of coffee or watching movies with our family, but all because we're ultimately trying to remember the big thing and wait with anticipation and celebrate all the little things along the way to get to the big thing. And that big thing is that Jesus is God with us. So just a thought. And just,
well, it's a good thought.
well, every once in a while, but it just, sometimes when we read like passages that we've read like forever, it seems a little trite, especially if our heart's not in it. Like we're like, I'm reading Matthew 1 again. I've done that for the last 42 years of my life. There can't possibly be anything new. Wrong. Ba-bam. and the Holy Spirit reveals something else, So in a whole long list of begats, the challenge is there, to view all the lives that God had to work to get just so to have certain things take place so that we could ultimately have salvation.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Not because he couldn't do it before that, but because we wouldn't have understood. That's wacky. That's some serious stuff.
It is. It's some serious stuff.
That's heavy. Yeah.
Good first week Advent devotion.
I have all these random quotes going through my head from movies now.
Well, as long as we keep it classy, we'll be good.
Well, And there you go. There's one. I love you, Tracy. You're the best.
I love you too. This is so much fun.
It is.
Yeah. And I'll hopefully I can figure out how to download it, edit it, and then,
people
upload it.
Miss the parts where like my streaming was disconnected. Yeah.
Yeah. That will be good.
But Duke basketball worth it.
Yes.
Do
they have their boggins on? That's what I want to know.
Duh. There was the scramble just before tip-off. I will tell you that. I made braids this year, and it sort of fits. I mean, I made it extra large because he has kind of a big noggin. Anyway, and we weren't sure we were going to have a basketball season, so quite honestly, I didn't want to spend $30 on something that would never be worn and could possibly be a bad omen.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's sports, you have to heed by all those things. So anyway, Jay wears the same one every year, and I made Ray's, and so he's got it on, and yeah, it's good stuff. It's loud in the other room.
I can hear
very loud. Very loud.
I hear them.
Do you?
Yeah, I can.
Is there a way to scrub them out?
Possibly.
And say, but that's our real life. So, so long as you can still hear me. And I want to hear you. You got something specifically for today, right? Because I'm kind of hungry.
About that. Yeah, that'll be in the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
lost track. What happened was last night I ended up staying up until 11:30. I've followed these people on Facebook, and they do live shows where they sell.
Oh, it was the pearl thing?
What? Yes, but they don't. They do pearls, but they have this line that they got into connection with a formologist, and so so they have, it's a person who makes formulas for creams and bath stuff and all kinds of, anyway, so I don't know what that company is.
Bath salts?
Yeah. And
so
they do,
I don't really know how that works.
They do essential oils and
cool.
the mixtures and stuff, and they have a whole bunch of stuff. So I stayed up because I said this Christmas I'm going to buy as much from small business or family owned as I could. And so I got some stuff, and I tried to stay up. They're in near Tyler, Texas. So they're an hour behind. So I stayed up till 11:30, and they started my time at 6. And they take breaks. So I think I made it through 3 shows, and I didn't make it through the 4th. I fell asleep, and
did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah, I did. I got some stuff.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I got some stuff.
You saying oysters. We discovered something this Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. My family did not get together. None of us. So, I mean, we were not my siblings at my parents' house. We did totally. I mean, obviously, I wasn't going from Mississippi to North Carolina for a day. that wasn't happening.
Right.
But my brother and sister both live in state still. And so they could have gone, but it just was not reasonable.
Yeah.
So, my mom put together these awesome little boxes for each of us kids. And in those boxes, she had done, like, she made a little booklet for the Hartselle side and the Honeycutt side. So, like, my parents' two households. And so, like, the menus that we would have at Thanksgiving at each of their houses. And we discovered that at my dad's family's house, they would have oyster dressing. Is that something you've ever heard of?
I have. It's not something that I would eat knowingly, but I have heard of oyster.
And so my grandma is her family. She's a very unique lady, but she grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, and her family, like her mom's side of the family, they were from like Ohio, that area. So like Cincinnati area. So, and apparently it's a thing there. And it's tinned oysters. So like, sardines.
Oh, okay.
But oysters. And it's so funny because she shared that recipe and all of us were just like, no. And she talked about how the first time she had ever met all of my dad's family was at a holiday where that was served, and she had the flu and then had to eat that, and it was just bad. So I thought that was very interesting. And we were all like, Daddy, you've never told us that you like oysters in your dressing. And he was like, oh, I didn't. And I never ate it. And I was like, that was okay. Like, we're a Southern family. You eat everything and pretend that it is the best thing you ever had, But no, not in this family. So, and we do like sourdough with sage butter, apples, and sausage. And we made this one time with quince. That was different.
Quince.
It's a fruit. It's like if an apple and a pear had a baby.
Okay.
And it's like a really starchy kind of meat that leaves, how sometimes like if you eat a grape, the tannins and chemicals in it make your mouth feel really dry.
Yeah, excuse me.
Quince are like that too.
Okay.
And I don't mind a quince. I don't crave it. And I don't want to pay $3 for it if it's not like gonna like bring the ultimate joy to my life.
If it is not awesome, doesn't get.
We tried to find blood oranges at the grocery today. And when I say we, I sent Ray with a list. That's what we've done for the last 10 months. So no blood oranges in all of my area of Mississippi.
Wow.
5 stores have been checked.
I'm guessing
that random? Is that like a thing that people don't typically have in a grocery store?
That seems random. Like
a blood orange? Or that they don't have it?
That they don't have any.
Oh, I know. Because like this time of year, using blood orange and stuff, like, because what I was going to use it for was to make a blood orange glaze. And you know how you take the cup of powdered sugar to a tablespoon of liquid and you mix it together and it makes, and see, if you use the blood orange juice, it has that real pretty color. Anyway, but no, I won't be having that.
Okay. Wow.
I'm out of luck.
Yeah.
But I am going to make like mocha glaze using like the peppermint mocha creamer. I'm going to try that.
Ooh.
Try that over chocolate something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good anything.
I'm hungry, sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't eat any lunch today.
You did.
So, well, I take that back. I ate a clementine. I peeled it as I was putting on my glitter makeup because it's free. And I had an Oreo and I've had this coffee. And so you see why the caffeine has got me all. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes for good conversation.
Yeah, I think this is cup three of my fudge.
Yeah, this is my first cup of hot coffee. I had a cup of iced coffee.
Oh, see, it's too cold for iced coffee. That's summer, and now I've switched to cold coffee.
Summer for you is winter for me.
It's cold. Although I do have the windows open because it's nice and sunny.
Next week is just unseasonably cold because, like, it's going to be 20 tomorrow night, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's just very unusual. It's normally 50s.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, 50s or 60s.
Yeah. We've had warm, unseasonably warm weather.
Well, like
for
last
November.
year, I remember one day I had to stand outside all day, and I was handing out something that was frozen, and so I was like in the back of a truck, you know, handing out big boxes of frozen food, and ended up with frostbite on my fingers.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but that is a rather random side effect of the fact that I can't feel my fingers a lot of the time, which is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But necessary. Sorry.
Very much.
Well, you know, it sounds like a me thing to do, right?
I could see it. I could see not paying attention and that happening.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I'm more concerned about saying Merry Christmas. I keep waiting. We had this huge donation of frozen food that was given to our work, and it kept me from having to buy frozen food for a while. And I keep hoping we're going to have that again this year. Because if not, I think I'm going to have to buy canned ham or something.
Yeah.
Which is just not the same.
Mm-mm.
Sorry, I know I'm being kind of.
No, I immediately when anybody says canned ham, I go to Christmas with the Cranks. That's immediately. Anytime canned ham is said, and I'm like, they like that canned ham so much. I mean, he paid hundreds of dollars for it.
I know. So. That is such a good movie too. Mm-hmm. And that's Tom Clancy wrote that, right? It's the Tom Clancy short story. Here, let me look. I think it is. All right.
I'm not sure.
I have it on Audible.
Oh.
Because I listen to many audiobooks this time of year. How do they updated the app and I just don't know how to search it. Based off of the book Skipping Christmas. No, it's John Grisham, not Tom Clancy.
Oh, okay. I knew it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those kind of guys. But yeah, it's John Grisham. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Tom Clancy's great though. Tom Clancy and John Grisham are two of my dad's favorite authors.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I've ever read them.
I haven't read them. I've watched their movies.
Yes.
I think I may have read some John Grisham. I know that, I haven't read the Jack Ryan series, but I've watched all those movies. And let's be honest, Clear and Present Danger. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh, Moira. favorite line from that. Pick up the phone, Moira. I love that name.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't say the name. The Up the Creek.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Moira.
Yes. See, and I have an Aunt Myra because I am Southern.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an Aunt Pete. Did you have an Aunt Pete?
No.
I've met a lot of people who had an Aunt Pete.
No. Tom has. Oh, Tom's family, they have those kind of names. Like Goat. He has a cousin Goat. His nickname is Goat. He has another cousin, Hanky Doo. Oh, you mean her real name?
Well, her name was Peg.
Oh, okay. And they called her Pete.
Peg Leg Pete. You know, from the cartoons.
No.
Oh my goodness.
I led a sheltered life.
Okay, Tracy. I was only allowed to watch CNN and another hour of television my entire childhood. Who was more sheltered?
CNN wasn't invented yet when I was a child. I win.
You win. I had headline news. Yeah.
Yep. Neither was headline news.
Yeah. CNN headline news. Like, that's what I watched every day after school.
CNN came about when I was in college. Because I remember it was just raw. It was like it was so
I'm
raw.
Trying to remember
Everything
the name of Amanpour. That's her last name.
Yeah, Christiane.
She's still on CNN, but she doesn't do headline news anymore.
Mm-mm. No, she does. She's like their special international correspondent.
She's amazing. Mm-hmm. I remember thinking if I could be like her, because I'm a nerd like that. I mean, sort of like I listen to all of the commentators on NPR now, and I think, I love you. I want to be friends with you. Why can't we live in the same town?
Yeah. We would hang out, and I would just listen.
I know. Okay. Strangest thing that has occurred to me or happened in my life since Safer at Home. I've secretly fallen in love with the Today Show. And I find all of them to be dear friends. I miss when I don't get to watch the morning show, which happens a couple of times a week. I miss it. Mm-hmm. And I started DVRing it.
Okay.
Because I need to check in on my friends. It's bad, isn't it?
Make sure they're okay.
Well, I mean, I want to hear like what Calvin, who was Dylan's oldest, like what happened to him and how does he like his oatmeal today and what are they cooking? And I want to know how Chanel's kids are doing and, all of that sort of thing. I mean, and then there's Al Roker. I mean, he just had surgery. It's good to know that he's okay. He's all healed up. Everything's going, and yesterday, right? And Isabel, my daughter, she says, they say, we heard you just bust out in laughter from the bedroom this morning. Like, what? We're hoping there was something really funny on. Like, were you watching Bob's Burgers or what were you doing? And I was like, I was watching the Today Show. And they made so much fun of me. They were like, there has never, ever been anything that they've ever said that could be that funny. And Ray's thinking, that can't possibly be the case. Because she has not laughed at things I know to be very funny, movies that I know to be very funny, stand-up comics, all kinds kinds of things that are very funny Whitney has not laughed at. So surely it's not a morning show she's laughing at. Yes, it was, because my friend said something funny. Just saying.
Okay.
True story.
Yeah. Oh, I believe you. I'm not quite to that level. Of course, I watch a lot of CNN.
Well, you're friends with all of them.
Yes. Wolf Blitzer is my friend.
Oh my gosh, Joshua's too. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I've watched
him watching Election Return.
Yes, I've watched Wolf Blitzer since he was the correspondent at the White House during the Clinton years. That's how far we go back. Like, we're tight.
You guys are besties and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Joshua lives for Wolf Blitzer.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't believe it in the news until it's come out of that man's mouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because he knows he won't lie to him.
Mm-mm. No, and I like Smirconish on Saturday mornings and Jake Tapper on Sunday mornings and on weekday afternoons.
What is his name? How has this escaped? Oh, well, we'll come back to it. There's one of the correspondents who I really like that I wasn't sure. Soleil. Is that what her first name is?
Oh.
She used to be on CBS.
I know who you mean.
Soledad O'Brien.
Yeah. I don't think she's on CNN, is she?
I thought she was. Maybe she went to one of the other network news.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I
remember.
I know,
she's not like NBC or ABC or any of that. She went to a full news outlet.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't bring anything more interesting from the news this week. I've kind of missed all of it. What you looking at?
I'm looking it up to see where she is. It doesn't. She used to be on CNN.
Oh, okay.
2003 to 2007. Or, well, she was the anchor, and then 2013. Al Jazeera.
Really?
She moved over to Al Jazeera, yeah.
That's interesting. I would not have thought that.
Let's see what she's doing. It doesn't say what she's doing. Oh, she's on O'Brien Starfish Media Group signed a deal granting HBO first look rights for new programs or concept it develops. So she's doing something with HBO.
Cool.
She does Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel on HBO.
What?
Yeah.
She's doing sports? Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Very, yeah.
My phone started blowing up. I have 20 texts from my family. It's good stuff. I'm telling you. When I say my family, I mean my side of our wider family. I don't mean my children and my husband. I hear them in the room next door. But no, it's like we're discussing. Today is my niece Anna's birthday. Happy birthday, Anna! We're middle children. She and I are both middle girls. I'm gonna have to go soon.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to splice this into a couple different episodes.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we've been interesting.
Oh, yeah. I'll cut out the boring parts.
The part where we're like, "Oh, what did your phone say?"
Yeah.
Let me check that out. It's sad because I still have to look at my everything like this.
Well, there was too much of a glare if I wore mine. I don't see a glare on yours. But
well, now I do. But
I don't really. Yeah, but all right.
I can't really see anything without them anymore.
Far away, it's pretty rough, but up close and computer work.
No, I'm the queen of bifocals. And I love these. They're huge.
Yeah, I do too. I keep seeing those. They keep popping up, and I'm like, I need to get those.
Yeah, and the silver ones or the gray ones that I got that Tori has, do hers fit her well?
I'm not sure because I'm not here during the week.
Gotcha.
I see her put on her contacts and her false eyelashes because she wears false eyelashes all the time.
They're quite the thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know, like I wasn't paying attention. We were checking out at Ulta and she just slid them through. So we get home and I'm like, where did these come from? She's like, you bought them for me. I'm like, I don't remember. She's like, you. I'm like, what? Oh, Tori. But I mean, she's had them on all day. She probably has them on now. But she put her eyelashes on.
I have never worn false eyelashes.
I have for.
I mean, and you see how good I am at putting on eye makeup.
Yeah, Tori's. I mean, she's practiced and got them good.
No, I feel like my lines are pretty straight, but the distribution. It was a liquid pigment. That the sparkly stuff. So it I couldn't get, like, I had to put it on my hand and then get it even out, and then it would dry and I couldn't really see where it went and then it would start sparkling.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta go.